The man, the myth, the legend. What's going on, Corey?
Hey, we just got the store. This is day 3, I think, of having the keys, and there's already 2 walls down. My stepdad is helping me out a ton. Has basically been running the show. Yesterday, had the entire family out here breaking down the 2 walls. Got to see the kids do that. So it's been
nice.
It's been busy and it's been fun already.
Sweet. You ready to get down the pod?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, we are back with another episode 21. We are back in the building, and we are in a new location. Got a very special episode for everybody today. This is, again, episode 21. My name is Phil. I'm your host. To my left, we've got another co-host. Introduce yourself.
Xander Moore. Nice to see you guys again.
Thank you very much. Our other co-host to our extra left. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? I'm Ethan Heath.
And Ethan, why don't you introduce our next guest for us, because he's very special. And we want and we got him to your left. Go ahead, man.
To my left, we got our special guest today, CORY SATO. Everyone give a round of applause.
Hey,
Mr. CORY SATO in the building for round 2, everyone.
Round
man,
2.
It's a very special day, man. CORY, how you feeling today?
A little nervous, started off again, but feels good. I'm excited.
Now, for those who don't know, CORY, you are actually our most popular guest and most watched episode.
Yeah.
Well, you made me a little more nervous, but thank you. Thank you.
So now we got twice as many people that are going to be watching you. So no, man, it was such a great episode to learn all about you, your dedication to your craft. Again, if you didn't catch the first episode, CORY's a firefighter. He, amongst other things, father, husband, businessman, entrepreneur. He rolls around at the jiu-jitsu. You can find him locally if you want to roll around. I would highly not recommend that, because dude is taking names. He even his kids are athletic and doing the jiu-jitsu thing, man. You are just an incredible role model and just a pillar of the community, man. So we're so glad that we have another opportunity to kind of go over some more specific things, including the grand opening of your business.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for talking about my kids. That's my favorite thing to talk about.
Man, I'm proud. I know, man. I totally get it. My kid's right here, so. So no, man.
Yes, the new place,
Yeah.
Chayse Life, where we're at. This is day 3 of having the keys in my hand of almost a year-long process now since the idea in the shower.
That's it,
Nice.
man. The idea born in the shower. And so as far as those who are actually kind of thinking about starting their own business, entrepreneurship, everyone's kind of has, at least what my dad said, every man should have some sort of a side hustle, something that, maybe Uncle Sam can't really tap into, something just on the side. So you got to start somewhere. Now, you are a full-on business owner. You're doing this thing. You got an amazing support team with your family. But for those who may look for a little bit of guidance for starting out in the entrepreneurial, venture, how did this kind of start out with you? Like, break it down from just the concept to applications to kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, it sounds like a joke, but it was in the shower, one of those eureka moments. All the recovery and stuff like that I've been looking for after working out and getting physically fit and wanting to just recover more. That way I can work out more, go roll more at the jiu-jitsu gym, and just being banged up all the time and feeling like I'm not getting any younger. So the recovery takes a little bit longer. It takes a little bit more effort. And I was looking for all those little hacks and things like that. And we found the ice plunge at the station. We started doing it as a crew. And then I was like, man, I know that other people want to do this too. So boom, there's the business idea. It seems like it's really wanted by a lot of different people throughout the community, and it's from all ages, from kids in high school, even younger. My daughter does it. She's 9. All the way up to my mom. She's doing it now too, and sorry, Mom, she's in her 50s.
There you go.
So
On Mother's Day.
No.
No, I took some years off for her.
Yeah, there you go.
She's 21 again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But yeah, came up with the idea, and I was like, man, I know that other people want to do this, and so started researching the ice plunge and doing it at work, and realizing what a pain in the butt it is to do. We call it the poor man's plunge. We started with a Rubbermaid tub, and we were putting ice in it. That's totally convenient if you have a commercial ice maker and the space to do it. But if you don't, then it's pretty inconceivable to have it at your house or your apartment or anything like that, because it takes up space. You don't have enough space in your freezer for all the ice that you're going to dump in every single day. And then going through all that water, like, are you going to leave all that water in your bathtub?
Especially, in an apartment. Like,
Yeah,
put that
yeah.
out on the balcony or something. It's going to be a heavy balcony.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's the business idea. There's the need and the want, and I was like, I'm going to run with it. Never once thought that I would be a business owner. Since I was a young boy, I wanted to be a fireman. And since I was 13, 14, that's what I was going with. So the entrepreneurial thing, that was Chase's venture.
And if
I'm
we can,
following
real
in
quick,
his footsteps.
Can we... Let's just get a quick little homage going on right here.
That's my baby brother.
This is brother Chayse right here, and this is it. So Chayse Life, this is Chayse, and this is the whole Chayse Life ethos. This is part of it, and so we're honoring him. And how fitting is it that he's like kind of looking above right now with all the other things we got going on, like with the Jocko Fuel, right at the foundation of what's going on, looking over your shoulder, man. What is it like just seeing this and seeing your brother and seeing just...
Oh man,
I'm not trying to get you too emotional or nothing.
Right
like
now,
that.
it's fantastic. It feels great. It's all coming to fruition. It's making the dream come true. It's been rough being the entrepreneurial side. It's been hard. There's been challenges, and then not even on the entrepreneurial side, but because I'm doing it for my brother, it is extremely emotional and extremely taxing on the emotional side. I want everything to be perfect, and I want everything to represent him well and to honor him and honor his legacy. So sometimes I take things a little personally, and I've already had to apologize to a couple of different people that have given me good criticism. And I kind of had a knee-jerk reaction, like thinking that they were talking about my baby brother and I was going to have to fight him, you know? And that's not appropriate. Maybe that's what he would want in certain aspects, because that was him. He was a fighter and a go-getter. But I'm more of a peaceful guy and a lover and make it happen.
That's awesome.
But it's been good.
No, yeah, and definitely had to give a quick shout out to the people out there who do not know Chase's story or have seen a picture of Chayse. It's very important that they know that this is the man that is kind of responsible for getting this going and the catalyst for all of this. So we're honestly honored to be a part of all of that and help carry on that legacy and be a part of it and be a part of the recovery process, which is the whole reason why we started this, right? And you guys are looking into doing this, and the recovery process, I say it to all of my friends that, at the gym, we talk about it. If you're lifting weights, if you're active, if you're rolling in jiu-jitsu, you're doing these things, even if you're just living an active lifestyle like CORY, where his job is extremely laborious and taxing on the body, it's only half of the part. It's only half the process. Working out is just half of it. Recovery really is one of the most important parts. And so I know that we really want to talk about the different cycles of, like, if you're starting to work out, what's the best thing to do? Are we doing ice bath first? Are we doing sauna first? Like, what are our goals? So if we can kind of break down, a little bit of each, you want to maybe start with the ice plunges. And I know I hear all the time Dr. Huberman talking about the ice plunges and the benefits of it. I think we were talking about Rogan. Talking about the benefits of it. I know very little bit about it other than just, there's benefits all around. But if we can maybe talk to Xan a little bit, because Xan, the man, actually got in the ice plunge. So from an amateur perspective, maybe we can start here and then we can go with CORY and he can break down exactly what happened during that time. But you got in the plunge, right?
I did.
What was the temperature? Like 40, 3?
43, I think that day. Yeah, 43.
Yeah.
How was that, bro?
44.
I mean, it hurt, man. It hurt. It was freezing cold. I just remember getting in and instantly wanting to be like, all right, get me the hell out of here. But I couldn't get out because I saw all your little
that was right
little
after
kids,
his daughter got in.
All the little kids in your neighborhood getting in for like 2 minutes. I'm like, well, I gotta stay in for at least 2.
Right.
That's right.
I think I thugged it out for maybe 3 minutes.
I think you did 3.
Something like that.
And
But
you got in too, didn't you?
No,
not that.
not that day.
Not that day. That's right.
not
That's
that
right.
day.
And what was your temperature?
Not 43.
No, it was in the 50s.
Yeah.
That was the old school plunge.
That was the old
Xander got
plunge.
to use the new
Yeah,
one.
he got
one that'll be in the
yeah,
store.
you got the privilege of trying the new one.
Yeah, you were a little
I
sick.
think I was
that day.
I was under the weather a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, would this help or kill me?" He's like, "Yeah, it'd probably kill you. Don't don't get in." Yeah.
So I had to go in for Ethan too. You know,
He
restore
took
his
one
honor.
for me.
That's right.
Yeah,
man.
but it hurt. My legs were really sore because I had just hit leg day for the first time in about 2 weeks. So I think
Typical.
the cold plunge.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I hit leg day with?
No one.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as your legs are killing and hurting, you know,
Yeah.
that's some may not realize, bro, but that's the feeling of recovery.
Yeah.
Right? So that could be the feeling of recovery because you're not used to it.
No
Exactly.
pain, no gain.
Thank you, my guy. So, Corey, if we can break it down a little bit more eloquently, what is happening while Xander's over there freaking out because he's turning numb? It may seem that we are actually in discomfort, we're in pain, but what's actually happening as your body is experiencing these sub 50-degree temperatures?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research in this. When I first decided that I wanted to make it a business, being a paramedic and having a little bit of medical background, I think helps out and helps me at least read through the literature and understand it for myself. But then having to explain it to people and go through all of those conversations, because a lot of people have these same questions.
Right. And they just know, I heard it's good for you. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
about it, right?
exactly.
That's probably
And
what you normally get.
That's exactly how I started too. Like, oh, I heard it was good for you. And then the cold plunge is still like, I heard it was good for you. The studies are coming out over the past 5 years. They've been coming out, but because it's so popular, they're doing more studies and more information's coming out. The saunas have like years and decades of studies and research because they've been around for so long, and the Finnish have been going in saunas for a long time. But they're coming to find out that they're similar, and that feeling that you're dying or that it's killing you and that you want to get out, that's a really good stressor on your body. You get the same type of stressor. It's hormesis, which is a small dose. A smaller dose of specific type of stress on your body creates more protection at a cellular level. And this dose of stress causes heat shock proteins. Even though heat is in the name, heat shock proteins get released from going through these hormetic type stressors of sauna, extreme heats, or cold plunge, extreme colds. Cold temperatures, you're going to get these heat shock proteins released in your body. And what they're finding out that these do is they go in and fix damaged cells and fix other cells and fix their 3D structure. So every cell protein has a 3D structure, and these heat shock proteins, their job is to make sure that they're folded properly and that they can function properly. And once all the other proteins are functioning properly, then everything else starts feeling better. You reduce inflammation. You start eliminating waste. You produce energy more efficiently. Protein aggregates are caused when these proteins aren't properly taken care of by things like heat shock proteins. The proteins get damaged in everyday life, and then they need to get fixed, and your body naturally produces things that fix them. And then at the end of the cells, when it's supposed to die, it's supposed to go through a cell death and get wasted and go out in waste or get recycled. So these heat shock proteins make sure that those cells either go through their end of life cycle and get recycled into new cells, or they help refold their protein structure and make them more efficient.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because of you guys that I had to go and research all this stuff some more. And I've been in my nose in the books the past couple weeks.
No, and we appreciate that because I think, like us and like most people watching this, you get most of your information for your health. I don't want to say most of it, but a lot of us are YouTube University learners, right?
TED Talk
Graduates.
University.
TED Talk University, you feel me? Sam Sulek, professors teaching us what's up. No, but we kind of do our own research, but a lot of times we're consuming bits of information that are in 20 to 30 second formats, right? So we're kind of just getting little bits of data here when you hear people like Joe Rogan talking about the benefits or Huberman talking about the benefits. And so when you actually break it down of what molecularly is happening, it may not be that interesting to you because you're studying all this stuff too, but as someone that has no idea about any of this, it's fascinating, all the things that is happening and that your body's taking care of through introducing this incremental stress on your body. That's I never would have thought that in a million years, but that's incredible when you break that down. But for someone like me, I know that you're like, oh yeah, I can probably tell you a little bit.
No,
more about that.
I was just gonna ask. It decreases inflammation by increasing blood flow, right?
Yeah, it does that too.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you get into the cold plunge, your body constricts all of its blood vessels to shunt blood to your core and your brain to keep it alive and warm.
Vasoconstriction.
And then when you get in the sauna or when you get out of the cold, you have vasodilation.
Dilation, yeah.
Relaxes. Those vessels get bigger and they start flowing more blood back to the extremities away from the core. And when you do that, you're basically exercising your endothelium, which is the lining of your blood vessels. So now you're exercising those, making sure that plaque and the protein aggregation, like the bad cells that are aggregating and collecting, that the heat shock proteins are taken care of on one side. Now you're making sure that the plaque and stuff isn't going to stick to your endothelium in your cardiovascular system in your brain, and it helps eliminate all that stuff.
Yeah, which allows increased blood flow, right?
Increased blood flow. Yeah.
Now, are you able to like essentially repair? Like if there's already been like plaque, has there been studies shown that like through doing these regularly, you can start to decrease the amount of it, that it starts flushing better? Or is that something that is kind of beyond like what? Like,
no, there's the human body is amazing and can recover from a lot of different things. Nobody's ever too late. You can always start the recovery process. Like,
Sure.
Don't use this podcast like, oh, I'm too far gone. No, you can get better, and everybody can get better.
So with that being said, like, is cold plunging good for like arthritis?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take away that inflammation. It's going to provide that immediate numbness type sensation, so you're not going to feel that pain. But what it's doing at all the other benefits of the anti-inflammation, there's a lot of different things that it goes over. So people ask, like, people have a bunch of different reasons to do the cold plunge. They could do it for mental health. They could do it for the physical benefits. They could do it for the anti-inflammation. They could do it for the arthritis. Sauna for cardiovascular help. Like I said, majority of the studies that have been the most relatable are sauna. Like Dr. Rhonda Patrick is a big expert in sauna. She is very outspoken about the benefits of it. And anyone listening to this should be referencing Dr. Rhonda Patrick, Dr. Peter Attia, Dr. Andrew Huberman. Those are the people that I lean on and reference. I am not the expert by any means. I'm just trying to regurgitate the stuff that I've read online, the bro science and YouTube.
Yeah.
Susanna Soberg too, right? Was that
Susanna Soberg? Yeah, she's a cold
the
plunge expert from
Right.
Scandinavia, I believe, doing a lot of the cold therapy and mental resilience and things like that. So back to the cold plunge, the resiliency, talking about that and the brain. So Dr. Andrew Huberman's been talking about this, growing a part of your anterior mid-cingulate cortex, a part of your brain that has to do with willpower and doing
One more
things.
time, a little slower. One more time. Where it?
It's the anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
Mid-cingulate cortex.
I believe.
And you
No,
said
you're
that
right.
has to be
No, I think you're right. I'll double check, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
And he's saying that is actually growing in people that do hard things. So let's say getting into cold water. You don't like doing that? You're growing and strengthening your mid-cingulate cortex. And
Anteriorly.
the anterior portion of it specifically.
My God.
Go for it. All right.
And as it gets bigger, those hard things become easier, and it won't continue getting bigger and strengthening until you continue doing the hard things. So let's say you fall in love with cold plunge. It's not going to continue getting bigger because you now love it. So it's doing the hard things that make it grow.
Whenever you fight adversity,
Yep.
essentially,
Yeah.
whenever you're going against an advantageous something, it's growing.
And luckily with the heat and the cold, not a lot of people love it. So you're gonna grow your brain by getting in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
There's
grow
very
brain
few
power.
people that love it.
That's insane.
You can love the benefits of it, but you know it's gonna suck when you get in there.
That's very true.
And that's what grows it. You know it's gonna suck, and that's what's gonna make you better.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like it doesn't matter what your mindset is. Once you set in there it can get jogged pretty quick.
Yeah.
When you're in sub 50,
Like reality
sub
hits.
40.
And then it just
like, yeah, I got this. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, 41 degrees will definitely
Exactly.
sober you up.
Like, it's been 30 seconds. What the fuck?
Yeah, 30 is the longest seconds of your life.
Yeah.
Most
It really
I'm sure.
is. Time feels relative for sure. In there.
Oh, it does.
Man, insane. So for someone who, let's say, whether you're just living an active lifestyle, if you got a normal 9 to 5, but let's say you like to do mountain biking, or you get together with the boys for biking in the afternoon, or you're rolling around doing jujitsu, you're weightlifting, bodybuilding. Let's say you just get done with your activity that you're of choice, right? Resistance training or whatever. What is the next step? Are you and I'm, let's say if I have a membership and I'm just got done weightlifting and I come down here, what are you recommending? Do I hit the sauna? Am I hitting the cold plunge first? Cold plunge then sauna? Sauna cold plunge? Like, what is it that for optimum recovery? What would you recommend if someone that's just coming into your building?
Nice. Yeah. For recovery, if your goal, Xander, Ethan, if your goal is to gain muscle mass and get bigger, your goal isn't to run a marathon and do long cardio things, then if you hit leg day, then you should wait 4 to 6 hours, Dr. Huberman's saying. That way you keep all of the benefits of that hard leg workout, because you're still benefiting, your muscles are still growing and getting all the nutrients and everything that they need from the inflammation that you caused from your workout. Yeah. So if you stop that, then you stop that process the instant that you get in that cold water.
That
Interesting.
totally makes sense.
So
But
the pump is just instantly gone.
The pump will be gone.
Yeah,
Yep, because you're causing that vasoconstriction.
Yeah.
That pump that you're feeling is vasodilation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 to 6 hours, and then you would recommend.
That makes sense.
Yeah, not that I recommend. This is what I'm learning from the doctors.
Okay, yeah, so
that I'm reading and
the research that you have done yourself, plus the research that you know, Huberman and others alike, they recommend.
Now,
4 hours.
if you're running a marathon and you're running 10 miles a day, you can get right in the cold plunge within the first hour after your runs.
And why is that?
Because now you're helping your inflammation for your joints, for the sinew and the tendons and the bones and all of the stuff, that chronic that constant
Right.
impact, and you're stopping that because that's not going to benefit the runner.
Yeah.
Whereas that inflammation is going to benefit the weightlifter.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
That totally does. So
That makes sense.
yeah, so even if you are somebody like me who doesn't know about any of this stuff, to come in to the Chayse Life Center, let them know what activities you're doing. Get with Corey. Let them know exactly what it is that your goals are, because sometimes that has a lot to do with it too. If I'm just trying to reduce the inflammation due to arthritis, like you brought up, or something like that, you may need to start out with a plan. He may say, hey, you might want to start at this temperature for this long, and then we'll create a new plan for you. So again, we're going to be leaving descriptions for the Chayse Life and for his Instagram and for all kinds of different things, so that we can start answering some of these questions for you, because I know, like me, I got a lot of them. But yeah, come on down and
So
they'll definitely be able to create something for you.
So let's say someone is, you know, an active person, either in contact sports or just weightlifting in general, how many times a week do you recommend hitting the sauna or going in the cold plunge? Is it like every day, or is it like every other day? Like, is there too much cold plunge or sauning that you can do for your body?
Yeah, you can definitely do too much in one time.
Okay.
Now, I've been talking to my mom about this a lot, and she's saying, well, I don't want to go in the cold plunge, you know, because it's cold and it sucks. But if you were to take a Motrin, then that's equivalent of going in the sauna, or of going in the cold plunge. You're getting that same anti-inflammation. Now it's going to wear off, and you need to re-up on that anti-inflammation, all of those benefits. And unfortunately, it doesn't last forever. So if you're experiencing that chronic type pain, you can do a cold plunge multiple times a day. Like if you have that arthritis. Or if it is just in your hands, you can put your hands in an ice bath, just them, and get them feeling better if you have arthritis in your hands or your wrist.
Arthritis.
And you can do that as many times as you're going to take a Motrin. Now, if you're replacing ice bath instead of a Motrin, you're doing way better for your health.
Sure.
Keeping big pharma out of your body, for sure.
Yeah, and we were talking about
Definitely.
that. Everyone is so used to one problem, one pill.
Right.
And now, before you know it, you got a stack of pills by the time, you know, you're
Yeah.
getting into your late 30s, early 40s. And we are just so willing to negate the fact that a little bit of discomfort, it may be better for you, and we kind of exchange that discomfort for comfort. But it's a short-term thing, like you said. With the pills, it's going to be running out, and you're going to need one in the next 2-3 hours, maybe, depending on how bad your arthritis may be.
Right. And fortunately, there's so many different benefits that someone can get from the different things that we're going to offer. Between the sauna and the cold plunge, there is no target market. It's everyone, from the old lady with the arthritis to the young athlete, or the mom who just has kids running around that are driving her crazy. You know, she needs a little extra break in the sauna, a little bit of relief, because the sauna and the stresses do make you tougher. They do make you tougher at a cellular level. Your body starts buffering these stressors. The heat stressors are just like the everyday stress, the lingering stress. The kids have to get to school on time. The bills have to be paid. All of those are stressors, and that's what people normally think of stress. But the physical stress, the heat, the cold, those build your tolerance for the everyday stress and make you tougher on those aspects.
So we're talking about like cortisol? Is that like?
Yeah, I mean, all those stress hormones and
so
all of those.
So doing that, it builds like a resistance to being like.
What is cortisol? What is that? I'm lost.
Cortisol is the stress. Is a stress? Is it a hormone?
Yes.
It's a stress hormone.
Okay.
Cortisol is a stress hormone. Whenever you're stressed, your body is releasing cortisol.
Gotcha.
So I think what he's saying is that when you're doing the sauna and cold plunges, you're building a resistance to cortisol. Like the cortisol is there, right? But you're more resistant to the adverse effects of it, right? Like you're able to manage it a little bit better.
Yeah, you're used to the effects. So one of the things that I learned recently studying for this podcast specifically and brushing up on all the science is two things. So endorphins, the feel-good hormones. A lot of people have heard of those. Dopamine, serotonin.
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin. They make you feel better. The love hormones. Yeah. The endorphins.
Man, what does he do?
Yeah, for real.
The opposite of that is dynorphin, and that gives you the feeling of the dreadful feeling that I got to get out of here. If you've been in the sauna and it's hot and you start getting anxious and you're like, man, it feels like your skin's crawling and you just got to get out of here, that's dynorphin hitting in. Okay. You get the same feeling from a hangover, the withdrawals from alcohol. Your body's releasing dynorphin. One of the really cool things when your body releases dynorphin, it activates and either creates or makes available these more receptors to accept the endorphin hormones. So, for example, to break it down into the bro science, you hit the sauna today. Tomorrow, 2 days later, you see your mom, she gives you a big hug. Everybody, or your whoever, your special person, they give you a big hug and say, hey, I missed you. Those same feel-good hormones that you're going to be feeling that you would have gotten from that hug normally, they're going to be 2-3 times as much, or you're going to feel that much more sensitive to those feel-good hormones because you have more receptors for those hormone molecules to actually work on your body.
That's cool.
And that's from the dynorphin itself, going through the stressful situation.
Sorry. Yeah, and I heard that after the sauna, like it stresses your body out so much that the next few days you're just like way more like stress free.
And that is exactly from that dynorphin response.
Okay.
Now, what about the timelines in between? You know, again, would that differentiate depending on the person and activity levels and things like that?
Yeah.
For the sauna?
Absolutely. It depends on the temperature of the sauna, how long after activities you're doing it, what part of the day, and what you want to get out of it. Both of these things, it's pretty specific. You can get out of it what you want out of it, or you could come in every day and just reap the benefits of all of it because you're not going to avoid any of the benefits.
And I was going to ask, for the parent that is, you know, like for the moms out there that are hustling to get their kids to school and all that stuff, and who just want to, after all that is done, they've ran their errands, they've dropped off everything they got to do, and they got a minute to themselves. Just to come in, some people just enjoy the sauna, just to sit in and just enjoy that. You know, is that something that they could do too, and just kind of monitor how much time that they're in and reap the benefits that way?
Absolutely. You get in there, and it's your own mental meditation. You can make it what you want too, right? You can get in there with a group of friends, and now it's getting better together, and we're gonna suffer through this together. And you're sweating, I'm sweating, we're laughing about it. It sucks, and everybody's getting better together. Or you could go in there and be in peaceful solitude and get in your zen and do your own meditation. And, suffering in silence is beneficial in its own, getting in your own head and thinking about your thoughts. And
But I love what you also said too about getting better together. And if we can kind of unpack a little bit of that too, that's kind of one of the core like pillars, if you will, of the Chayse life ethos, like getting better together, and that's been demonstrated through your community involvement in the fire department, that is, with your job and with the cul-de-sac workouts, but you're also implementing that here at this location too. Could you unpack that a little bit and about how you're going to be having the structure of the place where there's going to be a couple of different of the machinery together and maybe some in a different area? Can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, getting better together is something that's it's made me better. I've been better because of the community and the people that have been around me since Chayse died. It broke me. I needed people around me, and they helped me get better. So realizing that I couldn't have done it on my own, by myself, and it's really hard for anyone to do it on their own. Totally possible, but getting better together is that much easier. Going through hard times with others it not only strengthens your relationship with that person, but it is easier and it makes you better. Because it keeps you coming back, right? Going through the hard things. Like if you don't want to do it one day, but I'm really pumped about doing it because I'm sore, then you're going to come and help support me. That accountability. Getting better together. I mean, we lean on each other for so many different things. This is one of those areas where I wanted to bring it because you can't find getting better together at the everyday day spa where there's cold plunges now. They give you the key to the room and expect you to go in there and suffer in silence by yourself. Don't be loud. I don't want to hear any heavy breathing or anything from this room because people are over here getting massages and doing other things that are super beneficial at those spas. That's just not what you're going to find here. There's going to be music, there's going to be laughing, there's going to be camaraderie, people getting better together. Unless you want a private room and you don't want people to see your face when you're getting in, or you don't want to be in a bathing suit in front of people. That's totally cool. We're going to have 2 private rooms where you can, or maybe you want to take your kids into that room and do it with them and have that moment, the same moment that I've had with my daughter and my son. It's a really cool moment to coach them through that. And if I could share that with other people and they can have their little solitude and getting better together in their own family time or completely by themselves.
Now, what if I wanted to come in, let's say, like with my wife, which she probably would never get into a cold plunge.
I've heard that so many times.
Maybe the sauna, but let's say if she did. Are you guys saying that there will be a possibility of like I can have one of the cold plunges and she can be right next to me in a different area for the getting better together, or is that going to be 2 in one room, or are you going to have maybe an area where I can sit and she can sit, we can look at each other and talk each other through that? How are you guys going to be doing that?
Exactly. So we're sitting in the room right now. This is going to be like the main room. Amanda calls it the Gen Pop. We're going to have 3 big saunas in here that can hold 12 people total and 2 cold plunges out here. And everything's visible. You could see the cold plunges from the saunas, and that way you don't have to, peek your head out the sauna to see if the cold plunge is open or not. You could leave the door shut, peek right through. If you're going and wanting to do contrast therapy, going from cold plunge sauna, cold plunge. That way you don't have to wait outside. You stay and wait in the sauna. But it's all going to be in the same area. So yes, you'll be able to sit and directly make eye contact with your wife, sit opposed, looking at each other like, hey baby, you got this. We're suffering together. And you'll be able to talk to each other.
That's cool.
Right,
that's sweet.
So like, as far as what you're going to be offering to people, is this going to be like membership based? Is this going to be like time based? How is that?
Yeah, memberships. We're definitely going to have memberships. We're going to have a la carte, like single uses. You could come in, use a sauna or a cold plunge, and also a punch card. That way it's just available for everyone. My dream and goal is to have it for the unlimited membership to be cheaper than Starbucks coffee. If I could trade your Starbucks coffee for a cold plunge in the morning and a sauna session the evening before you
Sign
go
me up.
home, not only are you getting healthier and
Yeah.
better, but you're going to be so much better for your family when you get home. You're going to feel better.
Wow.
So that's
be
the
incredible.
9 to 5 worker. And then the weekends, you know, you got the everyday athlete, the
Right.
home athlete coming in, recovering, and everything in between.
Man, I love
Wow.
it. I love it.
No.
That sounds great.
Now,
Yeah.
with all the like, you're offering a lot, right? There's so much as far as the health benefits. Obviously, but one of the important things I wanted to talk about was the specifics of the equipment that you're going to be using. And you didn't just partner up with anybody, right? There's
Right.
a lot of different companies out there, from things that you see that's a little zip up tent on Temu, to full on industrial sized things for athletic facilities. I'm sure the plunges and the things that they got at the crypto center are going to be just insane compared to the things that you can buy at Temu or something,
Yeah.
right? So everything and everything in between.
Absolutely.
However, you partnered up with an incredible partner, Finmark Designs, and they're leaps and bounds ahead of the game. And I'd really like if you can kind of break down a little bit about why you went with Finmark Designs, some of the specificities of like what they do, the temperatures, the settings, and all that stuff. And again, just what drew you to them specifically, because there's a lot of stuff that they're doing that's, again, it's ahead of the game. And
There is.
And so if you can break some of that down, maybe start with some of the ice baths. There's a couple of different variants that you guys have, or that Finmark has available, but you guys are specifically going to have a couple of them. Can you break those ones down for us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I went with Finmark because number one, their equipment is made in America. They may get some of the heater, the Havaria heater for the sauna is made in Finland, but everything's assembled in America. Good, clean wood, no glues and stuff like that. I mean, it would be kind of pointless to go into a sauna for your health if you're breathing in poison
Right.
at the same time. So that was important to me. I started researching, finding out, what saunas are even available and what's going to last. And now I have to think about being commercial and then trying to find the best that's out there. That way people will want to come here instead of somewhere else that just has, a 24-hour fitness type sauna. I mean, not knocking any saunas. If you're going to go in the saunas and sweat it out, good. You may have to go longer because it's not going to get hot enough. But it's going to be better for you, and you're actively trying to get better. So I love it. I'm not going to knock anything.
Right.
DIY stuff, I love that too. I mean, I've tried to do the DIY stuff
Right.
with the cold plunge and whatnot. And that's why I'm starting Chayse Life. So I sought out the best. When I found Finmark, they were one of the only ones that I found that had 3 different therapies in one. They have traditional steam
Okay.
saunas. Then in that traditional steam sauna, you have the new infrared technology that everybody's toting. All the sauna
Inside the
companies
sauna.
inside the sauna.
Wow.
And then
Great.
in the ceiling, there's the new red light therapy. There's an entire
I
red
had a
light
question where I
panel.
was actually wanting to talk to you about that later on.
Yeah. Yep. So that's all. The red light therapy is newer technology, but it seems like it's definitely going to be beneficial. It's not going to hurt anything. So having it in the saunas is just an extra perk. And they're one of the only companies that I found, and they're made in America. I cold emailed some of the distributors, and I was like, man, I should reach out to the company and see what they're about. And randomly, the owner called me back. And we were shooting the shit for like 45 minutes. I'm like, man, are you the owner? And he kind of chuckled and goes, yeah, I am. And it's been me and my buddy for 31 years, I think he said. And I
Wow.
was like, dang, I thought that I was just talking to some rep. And, he goes, no, I saw your email and I love your story and I like helping out people like you. And he's made custom saunas and cold plunges, and now he makes his own cold plunges, and that's the ones that we're going to be going with. Finmark Design Cold Plunge, the Gen 2. I have Gen 1 at my house. There's been some improvements for Gen 2, but he wanted to make his own sauna because he saw the plunge and cold plunges. He wanted to make his own commercial cold plunge because he saw the residential plunges and knew that the commercial would be there. Someone like me looking to pump people through the cold plunge without it heating up, because the residential plunges, eventually our bodies are going to heat up that water.
Sure.
And it happens quicker than you think. My body heats up 43 degree water, if it's just in the tub without a chiller going, it'll heat it up 2 degrees in 4 minutes. So it's pretty significant. And that's about a 100 degree pail, the DIY one that we have at work. So the chillers do have to work, and the size chiller that you have matters. The Finnmark Designs chiller is 1.5 horsepower. It's pumping water. It has an ozone sanitation in it, a filter, so it's clean water, nice and sanitized, and it's flowing, so that way you don't create like a thermal barrier. So you're actually feeling flowing 43 degree water.
Oh, man.
And that's different. It's different it's the next level.
That sucks.
Yeah, so that's going to be a little bit tougher than what I did, huh?
Yeah, flowing 43
I don't
degree
think
water.
it was on and going when you were sitting in it.
Yeah, yeah. When we first got in, I think it was 42, and then after all the people got up to 43.
Yep, turned it off so it was nice and quiet for everyone to talk and hear.
Yeah. But, oh, wow, that's going to be a challenge.
Wow, dude.
That's good.
After you, buddy.
So with Finnmark Designs for those reasons. They were the best, and the owner, he's done, I guess it would be called like philanthropy work or whatever, but custom stuff for other fire departments. And he goes, I know that other people are going to want some of this stuff too, so I'm just going to make you a rep of mine. It's going to be easier for me. It'll be good for you. You know all the equipment. You know the specs. That's why you came to me. And I'm like, dude, that's going to be perfect. So now I'm also a rep for Finnmark Designs, so I can sell his equipment. Somebody comes in and they do have the space and the money, and they do want one of these cold plungers or saunas at their home. That's awesome. They're going to get to use it way more convenient at their house whenever they want. Now I'm going to be able to provide them, instead of a membership to come here and get better, I could provide them with the equipment to get better at their own home. It's fine by me. Everybody's getting better.
100%. No, and I love that it's like leaving no stone unturned. It's like, yeah, I can help you here. I can get you your assistance at your home, and it's just one of those things where, again, you being the type of person that wants the best of the best, you're not going to settle for less. It's just taking that initiative to be extra helpful, where it's like, no, you can do it here, but if you really want to get one at your home, we can do that as well. I think it's genius. And not only that, but you guys, like you said, you're getting the second versions, which you were telling me a little bit about them. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say they can get down to 37 degrees for some of these?
37 degrees, yeah. And so the chillers, that's nothing special. I mean,
That's
a
insane.
lot of plunges do that. Some get even in lower than that, but to move the amount of water and keep it cold at 37 degrees with bodies moving in and out of it, that's where it gets hard. And the residential plunges, they just won't do. So that's why Finnmark made their own. Finnmark Designs made their own commercial plunge.
Man, they're
So not only do the plunges get super cold and stay cold, but their saunas, the reason that I went with their saunas, besides the therapies, is they get up to 200 degrees in less than an hour.
Holy man.
that's
200?
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
all
Gotta
these,
bake some cookies while you're in there or something.
Yeah,
too.
that's crazy.
which is kind of important
That's
because
nuts.
the studies that Dr. Rhonda Patricks has been talking about, they're using saunas up to 175 degrees at a certain amount of time, 20, 30 minutes, but they're getting up to 175 degrees. So 175 to 200. So the fact that we can get up to 200 degrees, not all saunas can do that. So that was important to me, getting up to an actual reasonably hot temperature that the scientists are using for their studies.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable, 200.
Cool 200.
Yeah, I think the
Man.
ones at East Borda would only get up to like, 140, 150.
That's
anyway.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
now,
pretty-
now we're
in
talking
there.
about 50, 60 degrees hotter.
Yeah.
It's like,
And that's
you-
standard for infrared. They say that the infrared doesn't need to get as hot because the wavelengths are penetrating through your skin. So you don't have to physically feel the heat to get the benefits of the infrared. But it getting up to 200, that's where the studies are being done. So that's what I wanted.
And this infrared therapy that you're talking about too, is there a reason why the infrared is in the sauna? Like what are the pairing benefits of all that stuff? If from like a layman's term.
Oh, of the red light therapy?
Yes.
Okay, so the red light therapy.
Like mixed with the sauna and the heat, like what is the benefit of
Yeah, kind of all the same benefits. Infrared is just a wavelength of light, like you're getting infrared light waves from the heaters. They're just emitting different types of light. So the red light above you in the LED panel from the red light therapy focuses more on healing and regenerative benefits at the cellular level, like on your skin and things like that.
Gotcha.
Whereas the heat that you're feeling from the infrared, that's penetrating into muscle and joints and tendons and ligaments.
Because I know that they just have red light, just
red light rooms and red light. It looks like a tanning bed.
Yeah, that's what
you
I
can get in.
That's what I was wondering.
It's just goes along the lines of like penetration, right? The stronger the wavelength, the more it can go through or whatever.
Yep, and then the different wavelengths do different things.
Yeah, so like we have something at the office that if someone had like the flu or COVID, we would put in a it's almost like a lamp, but you're using UV light to destroy all microbial life.
I've heard of that.
So you'll close the door and it'll literally smell like hair burning. Like like you're sterilizing the room basically.
Really?
Like
Exactly
you're
what
just
it's doing.
killing
Sanitizing
everything on the
everything.
walls and everything. And that's by the wavelength, the light, the UV. UV is on the scale of wavelength. It's just on the extreme end. So you look at wavelength and you'll see like the microwave will be on it, and then something, and then you'll see the sun, and then you'll see like something like that. Like UV is like very like harmful to you under a long like duration of being exposed to it. That's why we get sunburn. That's what causes cancer.
Right.
What,
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, you
okay.
can.
Yeah.
Yep, cancer. Light waves, they cause cancer.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, they're very powerful and they can do all kinds of things. And that's what all of these, because they're getting more popular and because of the popularity, they're doing more studies on them and people want to find out the science. And because of the popularity, those scientists get funding and people want to spend money on it because now there's beauty products and stuff that can be made from these red light therapies. And now that there's money behind it, we're going to see even more studies.
Right.
And that's exciting to me.
Yeah, and are you gonna be offering like eventually red light therapy booths or just in the saunas?
It's totally possible. Finmark Designs owner thinks that the proper red light therapy is totally good and it's beneficial. I'm open to it. I'm open to expanding and getting more. But right now, to open and launch Chayse Life, it's going to be the saunas and the cold plunges.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Like In and Out, we're going to keep it basic.
There you go.
Keep it good.
Yeah.
High quality.
The
Yeah.
staples.
Staples.
Yeah.
Man, well, and talking about research, just for those that maybe want to do a little bit more extensive research, or for the people that were watching and didn't realize until now that, man, Corey and Ethan know a lot about this. I should have grabbed a pen. Could you just break down, like, for those, like, okay, Huberman, was it Adia?
Dr. Peter Attia.
Attia?
Mm-hmm.
Their specialties and what they actually are doing their research. So
Yeah.
it's like Huberman is really
That's
big
where you
into
guys should
blood-
be going for this information, not me or Ethan. This could
Hey.
be the launching point and the starting point that get the curiosity, but they have the real information and the
So
facts and the
Huberman
data.
is really good with plunges right now. Like he's kind of talking a lot about that, but also kind of from the perspective of like the athletic, like mindset, right, and the athletic perspective. But other than
Actually, all of them are very athletic. Dr. Andrew Huberman, he's a big dude. He's very athletic. He talks about a lot of different things on his podcast. So he has a podcast, the Huberman Lab podcast. Dr. Peter Attia has his own podcast. It's called The Drive. He also has a book called Outlive, has a lot of very good information on it. Dr. Rhonda Patrick has foundmyfitness.com and her own YouTube channel and Instagram and stuff like that. And Susanna Soberg, she is a leading expert on like cold therapy, stuff like that.
Wow.
Right now.
So all those people, look into it if you got a few more questions. I know I'm going to be doing that because there was a lot of information that we covered today, and to get down into the nitty gritty, you should definitely be looking into some of those podcasts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it just scratched the surface. There's so much, like so many different benefits. It's crazy.
Well, and then to figure that you're getting all that within like a 3 to 4 minute like time span while you're in there doing your actual plunge therapy. I mean, for what was it, 3 minutes that you spent in there?
Yeah, 3.
So you figure all the benefits you're getting from 3 minutes. It's kind of wild to think about it like that.
Yeah. 3 minutes for the cold plunge. It could be as quick as that. And then, dude, one of the things that I've learned, the protocols for growth hormone, you guys would probably be super into it. Huberman was talking about a study showing people using the sauna in particular, 20 to 30 minutes, I think, of sauna over 175 degrees, and then a 5-minute break, and then doing the 30 minutes of sauna again over 175 degrees. Doing that total of 4 times increased their growth hormone from 100% to 300%.
What?
Dude, you don't need HGH when you can just hop in the sauna.
Yeah,
So
what's
20
crazy
to
is
30 minutes,
4 times.
100 and over 175 degree weather. Or
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
not
temperature.
weather,
Yeah,
temperature.
the weather will be 175 degrees in there. Yep.
Wow. I mean, I'm down to try it, but we about
30
to
minutes.
passing out in there.
You could drink water
Yeah,
and,
drink water.
and rehydrate while you're in the sauna. That's not a problem.
And what better to do it with some Jocko?
Man, the
Yeah.
premium Jocko.
With some
Fuel.
premium Jocko hydration packs.
Well,
man.
'cause you're also going to be having all
Yeah.
your Jocko products here.
Exactly.
That's another thing too.
Jocko
is
Fuel will
pairing
be
with
in
the
the
best
store.
Jocko Fuel, because it's like he says, it's the clean fuel, no excuses. This is the best stuff, and it's not just us saying this. It's not just Rogan. We have more of the doctors, more Huberman talking about the benefits of all this stuff, and you can get that all at Chayse Life here. And I don't want to give away when we're going to be opening things up because we're still got some time in between that. But these are all just some of the things you get to look forward to. I know I just was talking to Corey about picking up some supplements for myself. And so when you're here, it's not just about the recovery process. It's the longevity. It's the long game. And it's about the health in the long run. And Corey is very meticulous about getting the best elements of all of that that's going to get you into the best recovery process that you've ever been in your life. So again, thank you for thinking of all of that in mind.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just think entrepreneurially. You're really thinking of what is going to be the best fuel and the best results for the people that I care about. And through that the business end kind of just happened, it seems like, but your focus was always 100% on recovery and the best for the community. And I just love that about you, man. So thank you for having the health first.
You make it seem so much better. It's the stuff that I wanted to use, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to share it. So for the community, yes, but it's the stuff that I wanted and I was seeking out, and I was paying full price for it. And I'm like, man, if I'm going to be paying full price for everything, then I know I'm a little frugal with my money. I work hard for my money. I know other people do too. And so I wanted the best bang for my buck, and that's how I landed on the Jocko Fuel. And the fact that it's clean fuel, made and third-party tested. Their slogan is hard work, clean fuel, no excuses.
That's it.
Like, bring it. That's what Chayse Life is going to be about too.
All right, we are back from our break, and amongst other things that we were kind of talking about at the break was some of the things that we didn't talk about on the podcast. And one of them was the benefits of fat loss with the cold plunge, the sauna, how those can kind of correlate. I didn't even really think about the correlation between the two, but if you can kind of break down that a little bit, Corey, that's one of the things we didn't kind of unpack. The benefits of fat loss, or the fat loss benefits of doing these cold plunges and the sauna therapy. Can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah. I don't know if there's strictly studies showing purely fat loss. They are trying to study it because there are so many different benefits.
Sure.
But it's changing, cold plunge in particular is changing fat adipose tissue. It's adding mitochondria to it, which is the powerhouse of the adipose cell. So it's called mitochondrial biogenesis, and it's changing white fat tissue, which it appears white under a microscope, and it makes it look a little bit darker or brown-ish, and they're calling that brown adipose tissue. So BAT, brown adipose tissue, brown fat. And it's brown in color because there's more mitochondria in it. And the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell, and they take different nutrients and then they create ATP, which it's the cell's energy, adenosine triphosphate. So ultimately that's what the cells run on, and the more mitochondria you have, the more fat that you can change from storage of energy into useful energy, and the more mitochondria you have, the faster and more efficient it can take place.
Man, that was like the expedited, boom, just right there. Now, Ethan, you were kind of talking about it too. I had no idea. You guys were talking about mitochondria, and obviously we all know what that means. Yeah. And y'all started to kind of lose me in some of that. But if someone is specifically, this may not specifically assist, if I'm trying to lose weight, you still got to eat right. You still got to go to the gym. You still got to live an active lifestyle. But this could potentially assist with that and along with all the other benefits, correct?
Yeah, and another way that Chayse Life can help, sauna in particular, if you're trying to extend your workouts, sauna sessions can benefit you because they're going to keep your heart rate elevated. They're going to keep your body in that state like you're working out. So it's basically extending those cardiovascular, those cardio reps that you're trying to get. It's making those workouts last. You're just getting more and more benefits from it. It's extending those workouts essentially, because the heat that you're going through in the sauna, it mimics cardiovascular and cardio workouts. It increases your core temperature. It increases the blood flow to your muscles and to your joints. It increases your heart rate. It lowers your blood pressure. And in all of that, shit, I kind of forgot where I was going with.
No, all good. Mitochondria and with the assistance of the fat loss and how it's not necessarily
more efficient.
Right. Thank you. More efficient.
Not necessarily fat loss, but it makes your cells more efficient.
And essentially, if people are looking at quick and easy anything, this ain't it, right? Because you need to put in the work for this. You're going to need to increase your time in some of the plunges. You're going to need to increase your time maybe, or increase temperatures, decrease temperatures, depending on what you're doing, your sauna, or if you're doing the cold plunges. But it's going to be difficult. Your health journey, it's like one of the doctors was saying, choose your heart. Being healthy for you, if you may be a little overweight, it may be a hard thing to start, but also having bad health later on is going to be hard to deal with. So it's one of those things, how bad do you want this recovery? What you're trying to get out of it, but are you willing to put in the work for that as well? Because it is going to be a difficult thing that Xander can attest to, but it's going to be difficult, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is hard. One of the beneficial things that they're showing with the sauna is the people that can't work out, that want to get some of those cardio benefits, like an exertional walk or things like that a sauna can mimic, is people that can't go on those walks, the elderly, someone with joint issues that can't get out and do those things. So I'm sure that they could sit in a sauna, so they're going to get some of those benefits if that's what they're looking for.
Man, absolutely. And again, we've talked about a whole range of people and physical goals or physical limitations, whatever you're trying to achieve. You can come down to the Chayse Life Recovery Center and, again, ask specifics. Get in touch with CORY, get in touch with the staff, get in touch with the people that are knowledgeable, and let them know what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve, even what your aches and pains are, or just, hey, I'm coming here and I know that I have arthritis and I'm tired of continuing to take these medications. We're not doctors. We're not going to tell you what medications you shouldn't be taking, but we can definitely give you some information as far as how to alleviate some of that pain in a natural way, how to reap some of the benefits in a natural way that don't have to do with prescriptions and big pharma and things. Again, not everyone's got to take medications that they got to take, but if we can assist in the natural, good, clean fuel for your body, that's exactly what CORY specializes in and has really dedicated a lot of his life to it. So with that being said, come on down with your questions, come on down with your aches and your pains, and CORY can definitely map out a structured way to get you better. And with that being said, there's a lot of knowledge that we dropped, but we always leave a little bit of room for you guys for an ism. And I think we've got a special one from CORY that pertains to the Jocko Fuel, another sponsor, but specifically for Jocko Willink, he's been saying some things along with Good, if you know, that stuck out with CORY, that helped him out during some of these real estate ventures that he was going through here, finding this place. But tell us a little bit more about Jocko. You got some more words of wisdom from him. What do you got? Yeah,
thinking about the isms and doing things that are hard and growing your brain, making it bigger. Jocko says discipline begets discipline. It makes sense now, right? Science is showing the more discipline that you have and the more times that you do hard things, difficult things, the better you're getting at it. And you're making your brain physically bigger and more resilient. So be more disciplined, do hard things.
I like that. And how does that help you out in this past couple of, this last season of your, going through all of these complications of waiting for the keys, looking for the right spot, all that kind of stuff? How has that helped you out with your discipline walk?
Yeah, in that particular aspect, I've been using discipline to work on my patience. Being disciplined in taking a breath and taking a step back, controlling what I can't control, and letting go of the things that I can let go of.
It's that simple. Yeah. It's really that simple. And guys, again, I know that we've said this a lot, but there's a lot of stuff that we talked about. We're definitely going to put some links in the description. Some of the people that we were really hyping up, the Dr. Hubermans and those alike, all the professionals. We'll leave a couple of links in the description so that you guys can definitely check that out. But with that being said, we covered a lot of ground. But for those that still have questions, check the link in the description. But most importantly, we'll be having some links for hopefully some days that this will be open. But we want you guys to come on down, check out Chayse Life Recovery Center, bring your questions, bring your pain, bring your aches, and this is going to be a place where recovery, it's number one, and that's the priority, and that's what you're going to get when you're down at Chayse Life Recovery Center. With that being said, Corey, is there anything else that you wanted to say before we head out?
No, that was great, Phil. Thank you very much.
100%.
Please come on down, Chayse Life.
Yeah.
Bring your aches, bring your pains, be ready to chase life. So thank you guys again for joining us for a fantastic episode. We're so blessed every single time you come down here, Corey. One more round of applause for our guest, Corey.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
gentlemen.
much for being here. And again, thank you guys. And with that being said, Ethan, you want to sign us out, please?
Yeah, thank you so much, Corey, for being on for the second time in a row. We got to get you on the next couple months. Hopefully here with everything in the background
Yeah.
and stuff up. That'd be a cool intro. But yeah, guys, if you're wondering last weekend or I guess Mother's Day weekend that this is recorded, we're not uploading. It is their time. Spend time with your mothers. This is their day. Cherish all the moments you can with them while they are here with you. It's a blessing. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching episode 21. Season 1 is coming to an end. We have bigger and better things coming for season 2. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay fit, stay safe, and stay blessed. We'll see you guys in the next one.